Okay, so welcome to our Saturday morning Connect Zoom. We are still chomping through the book, Rock Your Network Marketing Business by Sarah Robbins, and we are on chapter 7 today. So we're going to be talking about the power close. And the close is the most important part of your conversation with any of your potentials. And many of us have listened to Bob Heilig training, Bob Heilig videos, and one of the things that he emphasizes is getting people from the start of your conversation, getting them to the close as quickly as possible. What happens is if they hang out in the middle too long, all sorts of things get in the way. Life happens, they get uncertain, unsure, they question themselves, right? That voice takes over. And then they just, all of a sudden they're like, oh, I'll get back to you. And they go into the plexus protective service, right? The PPS. And so you want to get them no matter what the end result is. It's going to be a yes or a no. And you want to get them through there. So we're going to talk about some ideas on how to answer all those questions that usually get people hung up in the middle. So on page 77, okay, chapter 7, she absolutely says this so perfectly. She says at the beginning, many people are afraid to prospect and present because they fear not knowing enough, or they doubt their ability to answer questions and handle objections. Can I please say how many times that I have heard this? I have heard time and time again people tell me, I don't share because I'm scared that I'm not going to be able to answer whatever they ask. That is probably the biggest hang-up. We have to remember, though, we have to go back to the slogan that we learn as we earn. I didn't know anything either when I started, right? I just knew that I was feeling better. I knew my friends were feeling better. Praise the Lord for shareables. We didn't have shareables when I started Plexus. We didn't. It was all audio messages. We had the testimony group. We didn't even have the shareables. And I'm going to share with you later the exact messages that I send out. And I've been getting really good results with them because it just takes people basically straight there. So she says, I like to answer questions and handle objections by sharing stories. Okay, that's what we do. Remember, facts will tell, but stories sell. We're always just sharing a story. So it's important to be in those groups often, right? In the info groups often yourself, checking in, right? What are the newest stories? Reading the newest testimony, because it will come to mind. Let's say you're talking to a teacher. Let's say you're talking to a hairstylist or a nurse. If you're familiar with the stories coming through, you're going to be able to pull that from your memory. So she says she likes to use the feel, felt, found system when she's answering questions. I do that myself. I actually learned that from a Christy White video. So you can look up on YouTube, Christy White. She's got an excellent video about how to handle objections. She uses this method. So for example, she says you want to make the person feel validated. And so she says she'll start out by saying, I understand how you feel. I felt the same way when I get started, but here's what I found. That's easy enough, right? Does that feel like, right? And that goes, I'm reading Dare to Lead by Brene Brown right now. And that goes completely also with her philosophy of vulnerability and rumbling as a leader with vulnerability, because you're immediately connecting. Yeah, I totally get it. I have felt that way too, but here's what I found. And then you move right over top of that objection. So she says, let me share with you how I'd answer a few common objections. And it's amazing how no matter what the company, the objections are all the same. So the first one is, what does it cost to get started? Big question, right? What am I going to have to spend? They don't even care about the info, just what am I going to have to spend? And she says, here's what she says, and we of course can tweak that to Plexus. She says, all our getting started options are less than, and you tell them an amount. You might want to say 99, 199, make up your own number, right? Less than 100, less than 150, doesn't have to be exact. And she says, and you leverage the credibility and resources of our corporation. I would make it sound a little softer than that, right? I would just say, and we have the most supportive community surrounding us with everything you need. She says, share, after that, share with them the combo that allows them the greatest savings and the benefits, and then immediately talk down that cost objection by letting them know about our bonus programs and our fast starts, our current incentives. Basically, our Me Plus 3 is what you would share, right? I know if cost is an issue, I can help you grab 3 people. I know you know 3 people. We'll get them on board with you, and your first order will be paid for. Right? You see how you can just throw that out there and it just takes off the pressure? I just told 2 people yesterday that are really excited. I actually only met one of them yesterday for the first time, and she wants to sign up. She's like, I'm so excited. And I said, I know that you do amazing at this. I know that you know people. I said, it's probably as easy as your mom, best friend, and sister. That's my favorite line. If they don't have a sister, don't worry about it. They'll get it. Right? But I'm just trying to show them how close that those people might actually be to them. And then now here's what she says again. No matter which combo you choose, we have a fast start bonus to help you earn. And she says your return on investment, I would say help you earn the cost of your first order right away. Okay, so just soften that up. She goes through a couple other questions, right? How does it work? What would I be doing? Those are normal. With the resources that we have now, what I do is I actually do way less talking. I send them 1 or 2 of the story sharing videos that Jared Abart made. Here's how I choose. The first one, they're pretty much all in our upline genealogy. They are older, mature women, if you'll take notice of that. Ricky is a younger mom then, but Wendy, Brenda, right? Shoshana's kind of in the middle there, but not high school students and not men, okay? So I keep that video for if I think it suits them. If I'm talking to someone like yesterday, who she's in her early 20s, not even anywhere near having kids, she can't relate to a mom with 11 kids. What I do is I send her the second one that has many different varieties of people. It's got Abby Kappa. It's got a girl saying this put me through university. It's got a dad saying, right, even men can do this. So that's kind of how I choose. So I send them one of those, and I send them, I'm actually going to put it right now in the chat. I send them a video that Plexus made on the products, and I send them one on the gut microbiome. So I basically say, here's the opportunity, here's the problem, which is the gut microbiome video, here's the solution. And that was all it took for her to say, like, I can't wait to get started. See how that's so much more simple? Does that feel more simple than sometimes what we've been trying to, right? And then after that, then you can bring in a story of someone who's suffered with something that they have, or someone that's in an occupation. Let me just go right now. You guys give me 1 second, and I'm gonna copy paste into the chat exactly what I have sent out. I just gotta do a quick copy paste. I tried to have this all ready for you guys. It's really not letting me do it right now. Okay. I'll figure that out, okay, guys? I will, I'll make sure I get it to you. No, I can't find you. Where are you? Okay, I will get it to you. I just need a little, obviously at the end when you're asking questions, I'm gonna go and do that. So I have it all for you. So then there's a question, how do I make money? You can walk them through the comp plan. There's the learn to earn video, right? You can talk about the upfront bonuses. Again, Me Plus 3, let them know you make over $175 just by telling your mom, best friend, and sister. Just keep it really simple. You can, I love Jessica's line. She says, we get paid 5 times a month, 11 different ways. You don't got to explain all the 11 ways. It's just enough for them to be like, oh my, I told this to this girl yesterday. And she was like, really? Right? She doesn't care right now how. She just wants to be inspired. So over on page 79, the next one would be, I'm so busy, I don't have enough time to do this. That's probably one of the most popular ones. And then I look at them, I'm like, girl, you think I do? Right? Do you know who you're talking to? So here's how she speaks to that. I understand how you feel. I felt the same way when I got started. I was teaching kindergarten full-time and working this business very part-time, but that's not uncommon. We found that most people work this business at very part-time hours. I started with just about 10 to 15 hours per week. Okay, and that's what got her to the top of the company, right? I asked people, how much time do you think you have? I asked a girl the other day, how much time do you feel that you would have, right? Would you be able to put in 30 minutes? Because 30 minutes a day will probably get them to gold, right? 30 minutes to an hour, that's not unattainable. The bigger time comes in once you start developing your team and spending, you need to do IPA first, and then some of that time is going to be spent utilizing and creating resources and doing events, right? So that will come. She says, tell stories of people who are working their business part-time and still achieving results. So you are casting vision. You are breathing into them life on why you think that they can do this. Because, excuse me, one of the first things I found with the girl I was talking to is she was constantly regurgitating basically that she was going to fail. Well, can people really make money? Right? Well, am I coming into this way too late? And it was over. So I actually paused, and I know her, so I could talk to her honestly. And I said, do you feel like there's something, do you feel like there's something from when you were younger where you failed and somebody ridiculed you for that? She said, yeah. Oh yeah, she said. You have to first go back to what is creating the lie. Hang on one second. Okay, what is creating the lie? Whose lie are they living out? Because do you see that right now she's got a curtain there, right? Do you have a curtain? What is wrong with my voice? I have no partners in crime today to take over for me. Whose lie are you believing? Okay, if you think of yourself today, even, are you hung up in your business because you are listening to something that someone else's insecurity let you believe way back? Okay, so show them, cast vision, show them a story who's someone that is succeeding, that maybe is in their occupation, that maybe is a mom that stays home, that's maybe retired. Show them that it's possible, and make sure you keep listing out those characteristics on why you think they would be great at doing this. Okay, next one. I don't have the money to get started. That's fair. That's legitimate. Here's what she says. I can appreciate that. Many people are in the same place because of the recent recession. Now remember, she's American. You could just end it with, there's many people in your position, right? Totally understand. Because money is tight, this is all the more reason for you to join us. What if I could teach you a simple way to make the money back with our bonuses during your first month? Who can you think of, adding my own here, who can you think of that could really benefit from greater health or greater happiness? And I always add in either physical, emotional, or financial. I really add that in now, because sometimes we lead with only the health. This also opens up the, right? Sometimes we're financially unhealthy and we need this even more than for our health. So she says, if this doesn't work, offer them ideas on how to save up for it. Okay, so if they're not receptive and if that belief just isn't there, give them ideas on what they could do. Maybe they could, skip one coffee through the drive-through a week, different ideas on where they can maybe little tiny things to save up. And at that point, you would just want to have them save up for their memberships. They could start working their business. My favorite one, I'm not a salesperson. She says, terrific. I am not looking for salespeople. I'm not a salesperson either. I'm in the business of sharing our incredible products and the possibility of becoming a turnkey entrepreneur with a global brand. Again, tweak that to something that sounds good and feels good for you. She says, I'm looking for passionate people who, when they love something, they share. If I didn't think you could do this, we would not be talking. See how you're filling them with belief again? If no one else has ever believed in them, you're showing them that you do. You think that they can do this. Okay, next one. I don't know anybody, right? I don't really think I know anybody that I would be able to talk to. Who would I talk to? Right? I always tell them the story of Trisha Regier and of Eva Schmidt. Eva, as good as didn't leave her home. Andrew was a helicopter pilot. She was at home with little babies. She literally rarely left her home when she built her diamond business. She found the right people. She was available online. She opened and ran that business from her devices. And then I tell them about Trisha. Trisha is a diamond in the company now. When I met Trisha last year in February, she had just recently gone emerald. She had about 200 followers. Okay, and then her network grew a little bit with some home decor, furniture refinishing, and off she went. Trisha, sometimes you'll see her go to Target. She actually really barely leaves the house. Okay, she's a homebody. She's a diamond. Okay, so share that. She says, what I love about this business is that it's not necessarily who you know, but people you'll meet. Plus, this business is a great way to get to know people. I will teach you exactly how I have found prospects and customers for my business. Sounds doable. I keep looking at Kathy's picture here. It's just her profile picture and she's smiling so big and I keep like wanting to smile back at her to realize that it's only a picture. Kathy, that's hilarious. That is awesome. Okay, everybody good so far? Keep chopping through the objections. Okay, are they resonating with you? Yeah, okay. Next one is I don't want to bug my friends and family. I love her response to this. Okay, I'm actually, before I read this, I'm going to tell you something. Andrew Schmidt told me last year, it was either Leaders Retreat or Convention. He's like, we don't even talk to our family about what we do. They're diamonds, you guys had. Most of their family isn't even on the products. He's like, quite frankly, I don't even really want my family on my team. Okay, your family, they're going to know what you do, whether you go at them or not. Okay, you might have a sister or a brother that you know would be dynamite, or a cousin with the business. Definitely talk to them. But for all the ones, my in-laws have never touched a product. They don't even believe in the products. Okay, they don't believe in probiotics, whatever. My mom's supportive, but she's all over the place. My stepdad is totally not. You just can't. Just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You are not after your family, okay, for starters. Her answer to that is, thank goodness. I don't want you to bug your friends and family either. That's not what I do. I share what I'm doing and I pick their brains to see if there's anybody they know that would be great for this. Because people will gladly tell you other people, right? So long as they themselves don't have to commit or do something, right? I'm sure you could get, oh yeah, so-and-so, he's got high blood pressure and my, oh yeah, so-and-so that I work with, she's always complaining she's tired. Okay, so don't miss the referral step in asking. She says, I find out people's needs and then I try to fill that need. Whether it's a need for my product or a need for extra income, I simply use a referral approach, asking them who they know. Last year, I started my own referral program for my own personal business, and I send them out frequently. As people know that I'm doing it longer and longer, the referrals are coming a little bit more. They don't all order. When they do order 75 PV or more, I send the person who referred $20. I actually have white line ambassadors sending me referrals. One happened this week. And I always double check, are you sure? Are you sure you have an active account? Are you sure you don't want to do this? I believe in you. I know you can do this. And if they say no, okay, could end up being a Celeste Gwen situation where she sent all her people right to Jen Hawkins until all of a sudden she realized, oh my gosh, Jen's going to Hawaii with me, without me, because of all the people I've been sending her. So that's a risk they take, but I sent them a thank you card in the mail. I thanked them over and over verbally, and I sent them an incentive. So never underestimate the power of referrals. Then there's, I need to try the products first. Is this a pyramid? Okay, we're gonna hop over, I need to try the products first. That one is just, they're just not ready in their mindset. I'm going to be honest, guys. Obviously, you want to be a product of the product. There is times when often they've had an experience with something like this. So I would just ask more questions, right? Hey, I totally understand. It sounds like maybe you've had an experience with this type of thing before. I'd love to hear about it, right? Or dig out their concerns on why they feel like they need to try the products. There's something that they're nervous about, okay? But I just really try to emphasize, I don't try to hone in on that, I try to emphasize on what they will gain. And if they just are not willing to go that way and willing to share, I immediately go into referrals right away. Is this a pyramid? Are you guys gonna laugh and smile? This is like our favorite question. Okay, you guys seen the YouTube video with those little cartoon characters? Deb's nodding. Has everybody seen that? There's two little cartoon characters and one friend is sharing with another, and then she says something, but that sounds like a pyramid. And then she's like, well, so what's a pyramid? Well, so it's a pyramid. Okay, so here's what she says. She says she rarely hears this objection because her belief and her posture is so strong. I would have to agree with that. If you have a strong posture, if you are putting yourself out there, people will not know what you do if you don't put yourself out there. I got a lot of buzz around that editorial thing that I posted about yesterday when I got asked to do that editorial article, which I'm still floored about. It has created a different level of buzz with people that have been watching me because they're like, maybe this is legit. Right? The girl that I'm talking to that will probably join our team soon, she actually my hairstylist said, right, what's going on? What's going on? So I told him, actually, it's an amazing day. Told him why. He's not at all for Plexus. And she overheard. So when she was watching my hair, she's like, did I hear you say that you were like asked to do an editorial in a magazine, an online thing? I said, yeah. She asked all about it. So don't ever hold back sharing. Don't ever feel like it doesn't matter what it is. If you bring on a friend, share about it. If you go silver, super silver, share about it. Toot your own horn. Okay, if no one's tooting it for you, toot your own horn. Because one of my business coaches, Monica Perez, what she always says, if you show up, people will find you. Okay, if you show up, they will find you. They will know, right? Joelle has been showing up, right? She's doing monthly sip and sees. People in her area are knowing if I need something Plexus, Joelle is the go-to, right? It's like me in my area. A dance teacher referred another mom who was having troubles, even though I've never talked to that person. They just know, hey, you need Plexus. Heidi's got Plexus, but I'm not quiet about it. So there's that. So she says, here's what she says. If you're getting this a lot, be sure to connect with one of your leaders about personal and professional development materials that will increase your belief in yourself. Okay. Insecurity screams loud. It screams loud. I've really been picking up on that lately. When we're insecure, people just feel it and they see it, even if we don't think it. And we all started out there. We really do. So just, I chomp away at a book a month. We're doing these online book studies. Just, find things that will fill you up. And it could be listening to a 10-minute YouTube video a day, right? But that mindset is key, believing. So here's how she answers. I like this. What do you mean by pyramid? Pyramids are illegal. With pyramids, there's no exchange of goods or services. We have an amazing product with very loyal customers who are elated with their results. Let's get back to talking about if the business is a good fit for you. Do you see how she swung that pendulum right back? Okay, she didn't sit there and kind of let the whole thing fester. She swung the pendulum right back. Like, let's get back to actually what's really important, because that's not even an issue. And so we are in control of the conversations. You guys are in the driver's seat, right? You are, and isn't it amazing? Think of yourself the next time you're in a conversation or you go somewhere, maybe to a seminar, maybe to a class, maybe to church, I don't know, where you're given instructions. Even if you don't totally know what's going on, you just march to that little drum. Do you find that we do that? I know that I do that. That's human nature. If someone says, okay, let's whatever, get to it, you just go. You do. And so that's what she's saying. You're in charge of the conversation. So stuff like this will come up, but it is your job to quickly not sure where that's coming from, redirect straight back. Okay, don't hang out on that. You don't need to send them a ton of videos. You don't need to try and rationalize yourself out. Just be like, I don't know what you mean, but this is totally not that. So let's get back to the conversation. Okay, no doesn't mean no forever. It maybe means I don't know enough. So she says, don't be discouraged. No doesn't mean no forever. It means no, not now. Delay is not denial. So be sure to stay in contact when new products or bonuses launch. Okay, do you guys send out, frequent, a monthly message to even your downline or to even all your white line customers and ambassadors? Because remember, they often come back in order, right? Maybe when Joyome launched, they had started for Triplex, maybe had a bit of a run-in with it, but now we got Joyome, and maybe they're really interested, right, in Joyome. We've now got Metaburn and Lean. Maybe they gained weight on the Triplex, I don't know, right? So now maybe Metaburn and Lean is a great option for them. So stay in touch because you never know when they come back. So when you reach out back to them, say, I know your timing wasn't right before, but if ever there's a time to look at this, the time is now. The time is now. Keep them connected to you through Facebook and through your customer newsletters. Those of you that have been signing up for the new Dough IPA app, if you haven't and there's spots left, that will change your life and your business. Tells you who to keep up with. You will not forget about people, okay? You will not forget about people because it'll be like, oh, Susie so-and-so, and you'll be like, oh my word, I haven't talked to her in 3 months. Okay, so it is now going to cycle people for you every single day. Nobody is going to get left out. So if you don't have a spot, it is literally, I think, changing my business. So at the end, she says, don't forget to ask them for referrals, even if it is a no. You will often have people coming back to you like a year and a half later. Okay, it's happened to me. I met somebody at a show and it was like a year and a half later, we were chatting, they were a customer, quit as a customer, tried again and liked it, upgraded to ambassador and introduced me to some really incredible people, but a year and a half later. So don't give up, be steadfast, hold your belief. And having said that, we are gonna hop over now to page 101, if you have the book, and that is called Exactly the Power of Belief. Okay, because we have to have belief to stay consistent and to stay steadfast. Write this down. Consistency compounds. Today, you might not feel like what you're doing is doing anything. But I promise you, if you are showing up, if you are doing your IPA, you're doing your new reach outs, and the new reach outs, okay, that is the most important part. Okay, 5 new leads a day will keep people coming your way. That is the biggest holdup in businesses and ranks for us, is that we are not continually reaching out to new people for new level ones. The attrition takes over and all of a sudden you find yourself basically kind of in a bit of a hole, and action will solve all of that. Okay, you do not have to stay there. Action will totally solve all of that. You will get yourself moving upward and onward. You're going to find your diamonds, right? But just keep sifting and sorting, okay? You always do your IPA before you help your team. Sometimes the order goes a little bit back and forth depending what's happening that day, but don't go to bed till your own IPA is done. And remember, I'm going to share that message with you while you guys are doing question answer. So on page 101, she shares her story about how their goal was to open an orphanage, and they did exactly that when she reached higher ranks in the company. And she explains, you guys can read about how it felt for her to wrap her arms around those little kids that ran into this brand new orphanage that was their brand new home, which is very emotional. She says, it takes time and money to pursue many of our life passions. Network marketing can be the greatest vehicle to provide the time freedom and financial freedom necessary to live a life that you love. Your dreams, desires, passions were placed in your heart for a reason, And I don't believe there's a dream or a desire in your heart that cannot be fulfilled. It doesn't matter where you are now in your business. Did you guys hear that? It does not matter where you are in your business right now. Okay? It doesn't matter. You can change anything. Your dreams can be realized through this vehicle. You just have to remain coachable and committed. You can never give up. You can never give up. If you give up, that's a surefire way you're not going to hit your goals. Don't give up. Are you going to feel like giving up? Yeah. If you don't, something's wrong. There will be times where you feel like giving up because that is a part of growing, doing things that are uncomfortable, right? Success is always just over the line of our comfort zone, and that is true. Mindset is everything. It's why we're going to get into that book next. You can do this. You guys can do this. She shared about a girl named Nikki on her team, and Nikki was the classic, right? Didn't feel like doing it every day. Got discouraged some days, wanted to give up some days. But Nikki ended up hitting a top rank. As a matter of fact, maybe even the top of the company. And she says Nikki admits that there were many times she wanted to quit, wondering if success would ever happen for her. When I get to Emerald, I promise you, I will tell you that there were days where I've laid on my bed kicking and screaming because something felt hard. I don't think it's normal, right? We do have those like really fast ups, but that's not the majority, okay? The majority, I think those ranks they feel so good, and you see so many people crying on stage because it took grit to get there. It took grit. That's normal. What in life is worthwhile, right? If you didn't have to sacrifice anything to actually get there. It's going to feel uncomfortable to reach out to some new people. You're going to have to use your husband's deodorant sometimes, or whatever you're going to use. Okay? Yes, I do. If you know me and you're on my team, I wear Kurt's deodorant, and actually I wear antiperspirant on the days usually that I do live health talks, but I still do them. And I use my natural deodorant on the other days. Right? It's not always going to feel comfortable. She said that Nikki kind of had a turnaround when she realized the power of her words. And she said she began to speak faith-filled words even when success didn't seem possible. I can't tell you that in my own self, I would say since about probably my Cancun trip, I thought that I was talking to myself pretty good. I have radically changed what I am speaking out loud and what I'm talking to myself. That radical change has changed the way that I message people. There have been a couple times in the past week where up here you're like, oh, that person would be amazing. Okay, I was at Sephora. Getting something for my daughter. We had this amazing girl helping us, and I'm thinking like she would be the bomb. She would be so good. But it might kind of stupid, like we don't even know each other, and all of a sudden, like over here, right? And then over here, I'm like, oh, like I might never see her again. What if she turns out to be? Fast forward, I did say something. I told her I loved her personality. I told her that I think she would be amazing at what I do, that she's the kind of person I'm always looking for. Gave her a card, gave her a sample. Okay. Ran into her, of all places, at my hair place yesterday. She also works there, which I didn't know. And she looked at me, and she has been messaging me every day 2 or 3 times. Okay, what if I wouldn't have said something? And this is not the same girl that washed my hair, by the way. That's the second one. But what if I wouldn't have said something? Now I'm like, these girls work together. They might be power partners. Okay? And I keep telling myself 2019 is my year, right? Tell yourself 2019 is my year, and I promise you, you will be messaging and you'll start doing things that you maybe wouldn't have done if you're telling yourself like, I don't know if I'm ever going to get to gold. Like, I know they tell me it's possible, but I don't know if I can actually do it. Do you see how you're probably not going to do your IPA a day? Okay? So important. What are you speaking over your business, your life, and your team? I see Jill, she's nodding. Jill is all over this. Jill knows the power of words and the power of your thoughts. Okay, she writes, you have the ability to speak into someone's destiny, just as I spoke into Nikki's life and she in turn spoke into her team. You have the ability to transform lives with your words. We give life to what we say, good or bad. That's one to write down. We give life to what we say, either good or bad. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not all about word faith. Okay? In terms of church and my faith, I'm not about prosperity gospel. I'm not about word faith. But what I am about is it is brain science. That when you talk to yourself positively and you believe in yourself, it's your actions that follow suit. Okay? And that's what this is about. Jill's about to stand up and dance, you guys. I don't know if you guys can see her on your screen. It is awesome. Okay, I'm going to read this paragraph. Okay, remember, she says, this is Sarah talking, remember me sharing how I wanted to quit so many times. Today, I'm the top earner of our company, but when I began, I used to be one of the lowest earning leaders. My company president jokes how I quit more times than anyone else in our company. I used to say, I'm young, all of my friends are young, no one is joining me. Then when people were joining, I'd say, everyone is quitting. I was definitely in the holding pattern myself, but looking back, I realized I was exactly where I needed to be. I wasn't ready to lead yet. I was being refined into the leader and woman I was destined to be, being prepared to lead the multitudes. You guys want to hear vulnerability? I have not been ready to be an emerald. I can think that I've been ready, and I've just all of a sudden realized I think now I'm getting close to being ready. I was not ready a year and a half ago when I thought that things were happening. I just was not. I had to read a lot of books. I had to cry a little bit. I had to figure things out about relating to people differently. I was not ready. I don't want to get there and feel like I'm floundering. I want to get there and feel like I can help pull people up. Okay? It is all about timing. You guys are still here. You're on the Zoom. You're going to do this. You are going to do this. You're going to hit your rank. You're going to hit your goals. You're showing up. Don't give up in the process, okay? Love yourself, love your thoughts. Don't live out someone else's lie that they have forecasted over you, okay? They do not have permission to do that. Not your parents, not a best friend, not even someone else in Plexus that is trying to hold you down. That happens. Think of the crab basket scenario. Okay, did we share that last week on the Zoom? The crab basket thing? Some are yachting that, yes, some are, I know, right? You don't need a lid on a crabbing basket that only has 2 crabs in it, because when one starts to climb out, the other one pulls it down. Okay? It can be someone that you work with, Jill. Okay, don't give up on your dreams, you guys. Not ever, ever, ever. You guys were brought into Plexus for a reason. Someone shared this for you. This was not an accident. Okay, you guys can do this thing. She says, remember, it's never too early or too late to passionately pursue your dreams. Go for your gold. Okay, chill. Go for your gold. What keeps me hanging on to that the absolute most is at convention, there are people there older than my in-laws, and they are 63. They're walking around with diamond name badges. If they can do it, so can we. The only difference is they had a mindset. They had a mindset. They did not start when they were 20 or not even 30, because the company hasn't been around that long, right? There's some that are 70, and our company has only been around for what? We just had our 10th anniversary last year. That means they were already retired. Do you see where I'm going with this? Okay. Next week, we are going to be doing chapter 8 before I open this up for discussion. Okay, it's called The Power Start, Effective Enrollment and Duplication. So for sure be on for that one, because that'll be a really, really good one. And then we'll only have one more week left to this book. And the next book, if you guys already want to get a jump start on getting this book, and make a post in your team chat, make a post in your team groups. I hope you all have one, or a place where you connect with your ambassadors. What to say when you talk to yourself. This is going to be really, 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 really good. Okay, so Shad Helmstetter, if someone wants to write that in the chat for me. Okay, you can go to Amazon, should be about $10. It's going to be a really, really great read. So I'm going to open this up for comments and conversation between you guys. This is your time. Ask each other questions. Pop out a question. Don't ask me the first one. I'm going to copy and paste the message I send out when someone says yes to more information. And I'm actually going to, before that, if you give me a minute, I'm going to send them my cold contact message. Okay, you guys can copy paste this, tweak it. And then when they say, yeah, I'd love info, I'm going to give you my response. And then I'm going to give you one YouTube link, and I want you guys to watch that. That video is Ashley Kinsel, and she talks about exactly how she added 100 level 1s in 4 months. This is doable. If she can do it, so can we. There's nothing spectacular, but she messaged out every single day. She tells you exactly how to write your message, and that's where mine came from. Okay? So you're going to listen to that, pause it, write the part, pause it, write the next part. That's what I did on my couch. Okay? But action will change. So I'm going to, you guys unmute yourself now, and you go ahead, and if someone wants to comment or share, just unmute yourself. And I'm going to do the copy paste right now.
Hey, well, Heidi, me and Jenny were actually talking this morning briefly about the Slim, because she's got a friend that's got diabetes, and I guess their sugar was really low, and they were talking about how to use the Slim to bring their sugar down or whatever. And I thought that was really backwards, because I thought you could use Slim to bring your sugar up. And I know it's like balancing, but how can it help to lower the
Okay,
sugar?
so
is it yeah, we were confused about that one.
Okay, so that's a question that we'll answer in a chat, since that's a product question, but we're just going to keep this recorded Zoom too, but I'm going to help you with that.
Okay.
We're just going to keep this about the book and the clothes and all of that, okay? Or things that are working great for you guys.
Okay.
I'm doing an experiment. I have my headphones on. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. I'm really liking the dough. It really helped me to reach out to some people that I would not have reached out to.
I'm excited for that dough app, Lindia. I've got my meeting next Tuesday. How long did that Zoom take?
It takes an hour.
An hour? Okay, I wasn't sure.
Took me a couple hours.
Okay. I've got to go to my mom to do it because I don't have a computer. So, but after that first setup, then we get to do it off our phone, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. When I did it, I don't have the tech skills, so when he said refresh, that's where he lost me, because I didn't know how to refresh.
Oh,
So,
that'll be me, Lindy. I'll be like,
Yeah.
which button am I supposed to push?
yeah. So I jumped in the chat and I said, I'm sorry, you've lost me. I don't know what to do next. And at first they didn't answer because they were probably busy. But at one point I said, well, maybe this is too techy for me, because I don't know what to do here.
Yeah.
Anyway, somebody came and they put me in a private chat room, and they walked me through it step by step.
That's
So,
awesome.
Yeah. And once you're set up, it's easy. It's only the setup part that takes a little bit of techie skills, but they help you. So be patient, wait for them to get to you, and they will help you.
I got confidence. If you can do it, I can do it. Right?
Yeah.
I added 17 people I didn't know the other day. I never thought to do this before, but I just watched a video on YouTube, and it was just some normal video, whatever, right? But I was reading the comments. You know, sometimes you'll just sit there and read the comments for a while, and I liked this one lady's comments on it. So I just started, and I realized I could add these people as friends. People I don't know at all. So I did that last night, and I was reading it this morning. I've added 17 people in the last 2 days. It was like half as many people as I had in the last year, I think. It's kind of weird.
Are you guys still recording?
Yeah, it's
Okay. All right.
Hi, Elena.
I have two girls that want to sign up, so I'm going to go ahead and go, and I'll come back and listen to the end. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Good luck.
Okay, they're going to sign up right now. So I'm like,
Bye. That's
all right.
awesome.
Yes. Bye. Okay, so how to turn off that? Like,
Bottom right-hand corner. I've done the same thing.
Me too.
What are we supposed to be talking about right now? I'm just curious.
I think about the book.
Just about the book? Okay. All right.
I
I'm
want to
totally-
get the videos that she's going to post, and she said she's going to post a few things that's going to help us.
Yeah.
You know what? My little phone doesn't have that shut off button.
Okay, ladies, so why don't you, I'm almost done posting and then I can end the record. Why don't you answer the question, what did you feel most valuable, or what stood out to you from today's Zoom of the different kind of oppositions and objections that we talked about? What's something that you can take away?
Okay.
I still have a problem with letting other people connect my thoughts.
Hey, that's okay. Well, you were messaging me that. I did not. Okay. Give me 1 second.
I think you were breaking up. I couldn't understand what you were asking us. Maybe ask your question again.
Was that me?
Yes.
Oh, I said I still have a hang up with letting other people's insecurity stop me from more successfully doing my job, my business. And I'm trying to get that because I have enough insecurities from my past.
It's breaking up a little bit, Elena, but I'm hearing what you're saying. When we're letting other people's insecurity hold us up, right? So especially people close to us, if they're saying, you know, their insecurities maybe about that it's network marketing, maybe about natural health in general, about, you know, kind of feeding. I actually have somebody who often says to me, what makes you think you can do that? Or if I say, oh, I message whatever. Well, like, why would you do that? Or what made you feel like you could do that?
Mm-hmm.
What? Right? So we can either hold on to that. What do you do with that in that moment? I know what you're saying, Elena, right? You kind of internalize that, and it's a little bit of a shell shocker. And then we have to work really hard at they don't have permission. They don't have permission to hold us back. They don't have the right to be able to project that onto you, right? And you get to you open or close that door. And that's something that we just need to practice, and we need to learn and to realize that those comments have nothing to do with you. They are coming 100% out of that person's hurt or insecurity.
But you know, and I never, like, it's only in the last while that I have understood it more, that they are insecure. I always thought, okay, they think they know better. And because it's like my closest friend that really put that pressure on me. And it's so hard, and I know they say that you know, is it really a friend? Right? And I've been battling with that, but I also try, okay, you know, and then I just kind of, and she doesn't like it when I make other friends. So yeah, there again, it's so.
Yeah, there's some hurts there. So I would just develop some healthy boundaries, you know, if you're able to, and pray before you're around that person. If you're able to just go into it realizing this is what I'm is classic, this is what's going to be happening, but I'm going to just be loving and respectful and spend this time, maybe limit your time spent. And then when you leave that all there. Right?
I've been time more. So yeah, because I have other stuff. Like I want to find other people. So
Exactly.
and White Line ordered today, this week.
Yay!
I think it's like 8 months.
Wow, great job. That's exciting.
Awesome. Yes.
She says, I know I still don't have much money, but I love the products. I have to get back.
Let's help her find her 3. That's fantastic. This is then a perfect opportunity for her. If you are having trouble affording your products, the number 1 goal is to be doing your reach outs because there is an answer to this for sure. Yeah. Yay, that's exciting. Awesome. Okay, I'm going to stop the record. So next Saturday, we will be back here. Bring your friends because it'll be a really great chapter. And let your team send them out reminders specifically from you because we do have the group reminders, but you know how it is. Kind of all of a sudden you see that, oh yeah, I wanted to be there, but I forgot and now I'm going to hop on. So never underestimate. You know, I always like to remind a day or 2 before and again the morning of, simply because of life gets busy. Things get in the way. So, and remind them they can pop on with their earbuds. And I am posting the recordings that I myself have. And so we will try to get the other ones up as well too. Okay.
Heidi, I have a question. You've posted information for us in the chat, but how do we access it when the Zoom ends?
You will have to right now be copying and pasting. That's why I wanted to quick edit in there. So I'm just going to stop the recording.